let's move on to player props for Sunday. Switch over to PrizePicks here. Teats, I'll have you start again.
So, I like to do some fun player props. So let's start off with the most fun one I can think of, especially in a bad game. Let's go over to field goals, and let's go ahead and take the over for Brandon McManus 1.5. I just think that even though I want the Rams to win, the Rams defense is pretty depleted, and I think that the Broncos can definitely drive down the field and get in that field goal range. It's just going to kind of come down to, is the Rams defense so depleted that Russell Wilson or whoever is actually under center at any given time can actually get in the end zone, or are they going to settle for some field goals? As you can see, he's only hit this 2 of the last 5, but he doesn't get a whole lot of opportunities because either they're out of field goal range or they somehow get a huge touchdown from like Jerry Jeudy or something like that. I do like the over in this case. I'm hoping that it hits by the first half. The second one, we'll go over to receiving yards. Going back to the Dolphins game, I like Tyreek Hill over 86.5. He's been one of the top 3. I don't want to say number 2 specifically, but one of the top 3 wide receivers this season, especially in terms of actual yards. The mark is at 86.5 yards receiving. There he is. I just think that 86.5, he's hit this mark only once, but that once was huge against a really good San Francisco defense. If Tua can get himself figured out and actually utilize his arm and even utilize the slant or any bubble screens, that's all you have to do for Tyreek. Trust me, I've watched him for like 7 years in Kansas City. Throw a slant, and sometimes he'll have some fly that will be wide open. 86.5 should be pretty easy.
I like that, Teats. I'm going to go ahead and do it next. I have one play, but I'm going to add Brandon McManus over 1.5 field goals. I like what you said about him, and I think that's going to be a field goal game. So I'm going to take Brandon McManus. I'm also going to take Aaron Rodgers over 1.5 touchdowns against Miami. I think Miami, like I said, I think they could put up 50 against the Packers. That means Rodgers will have to throw early and often. So I'm going to take Rodgers to get 2 passing touchdowns in what I think will be a shootout in Miami. Trey?
I do love that Rodgers play. But Rodgers is not fooling me one bit, so I'm staying away from him. But I am going to give you guys an under. I'm feeling in the Christmas joy, and that feels like James Conner having a rough Christmas. I'm going to go under 69.5 rushing yards for James Conner. And can we just say shout out to the schedule makers, because they gave us 3 Christmas games, and all 3 of them are either in domes or in Miami. So shout out them. But I do love this under. In the 3 games, in the last 3 games, the Bucs are ranked 9th in rushing yards allowed per game. They've been really great at stopping the run here recently, and Connor's hit this under in 3 out of his last 5 games as well. And I do see a scenario where the Bucs go up by 2 touchdowns pretty early, and the Cardinals abandon the run game completely. So I do love the under 69.5 for Connor. And then my last one is going to be a Packers guy, but it's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be Aaron Jones. I'm going to go over 0.5 passing, rushing, and receiving touchdowns for Aaron Jones. And I am kind of on the wrong side of the trends because it's 1-0, 1-0-1. So if you look at the trends, he's not going to get any of this game. But Jones has been the workhorse for the Packers, and I do expect that to continue. Jones has scored a touchdown in 3 out of his last 5 games, so I do like his chances about scoring in Miami. It's going to be warm. His legs are going to be feeling great, and he's going to be wanting to score a touchdown. And in his 1 career game against the Dolphins, he's scored 2 touchdowns. So Aaron Jones loves playing against the Dolphins. Those are my 2 player props. Aaron Jones over 0.5 touchdowns, and James Conner under 69.5 rushing yards.
I like those.
I like them a lot. That'll do it for our Sunday player prop games.